Sybil Wilkes with what you need to know. Today is Friday, June 17th, 2022. Happy Juneteenth weekend, everybody. Number 1, Saturday, June 18th, Mrs. Opal Lee will embark on her annual 2.5-mile walk to recognize the 2.5 years it took for the news of freedom to reach all enslaved people in the United States. June 19th, or as we know it today, Juneteenth, commemorates the date that slaves in Texas were told of their emancipation, more than 2 years after President Abraham Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation. For decades, Mrs. Opal Lee led walks of 2.5 miles, bringing attention to her now very successful national holiday campaign. Number 2, a 2017 study from the Pew Research Center indicates the majority of reported gun ownership is still mostly white men. The sale of guns to Black Americans, however, rose 58% in 2020, the year George Floyd was murdered, according to the National Shooting Sports Foundation, a firearms trade association. It was the highest bump in gun sales of any ethnic group that year. Further, in the first quarter of 2021, another NSSF report revealed that 90% of gun retailers reported a general increase of Black customers, including an 87% increase among Black women. Number 3, after 5 weeks of declining coronavirus deaths, the number of fatalities reported globally increased by 4% last week. In its weekly assessment of the pandemic issued Thursday, the UN Health Agency said there were 8,700 COVID-19 deaths, with a 21% jump in the Americas and a 17% increase in the Western Pacific. The WHO said coronavirus cases continue to fall, with about 3.2 million new cases reported last week, extending a decline in COVID-19 infections since the peak in January. Number 4. Dallas, Texas police are under investigation for the death of a Black transgender woman who died after police arrested her, put her in a spit hood, and loaded her in the back of an ambulance. Shocking body cam footage shows police approaching LaDamian Dwayne Hall on May 26 after getting calls that she might be intoxicated in public. Officers placed a spit hood on Hall, a device used to prevent someone from spitting or biting a cop, as she was loaded into the ambulance, but it appears that she was struggling for air. 30 minutes later, Hall was pronounced dead in a hospital emergency room. Number 5. According to data from Lendingtree.com, just 2.4% of U.S. businesses have Black owners, even though Black people represent almost 13% of the U.S. population. But thanks to the rise of Black women-owned businesses, that number is on the rise. Look no further than BuyFromABlackWoman.com. Buy From a Black Woman is a nonprofit that serves as a resource for Black women in business. This month, actress Tracee Ellis Ross will use her influence as the 2022 ambassador, bringing more awareness to the nonprofit. Read more about it in today's What You Need to Know newsletter. Here's your daily inspiration from Yogi's Jewels. Life is a series of choices. Choose to be respectful. Please join me Saturday afternoon for the North Texas Juneteenth Festival at Fair Park for the presentation Woman's Caregiver Pavilion, Menopause, Sleep Deprived, and Dementia, brought to you by the Black Alzheimer's Brain Study. Thank you to our What You Need to Know partners, Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated and the American Heart Association. To subscribe to my free daily newsletter, please visit SybilWilkes.com. Be informed, be empowered.